Hey, Zudoragi here, coming from the video review. And today I'll be doing the final part of my series of reviews on the Power of the Primes Dinobots. That is, the Combiner Volcanicus. So before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and get all the limbs into their respective modes, which is Snarl as the left leg. And to get that ready, take one of the bucklers from Grimlock. I have a Megatronus in there. And then Snarl's Prime Armor, with Prima in there for me. Plug it into the back. And then go ahead and plug Snarl himself on there. You have a leg ready. Sludge as the right leg. And again, it's the same process. Foot, Prime Armor, plug them together, and then stick that on there. There you have the right leg. If I can get him to stand properly. Swoop as the right arm, with the Crystal Solus Prime in there. And Slag as left arm, with Alchemist Prime. And now we focus on Grimlock himself. First thing we need to do, open up the mouth, stick the Enigma in there, and there you go. Then get the legs to about there. Open up the Dino torso. Bring that up and lock it in just like for robot mode. Come on. Bring the arms out and they will lock into place. Rotate it like that. Fold up the arms. And there is a tab here. That'll go into a slot right there. Same thing on this side. Fold that open. Bring that down. Collapse this up. Tab into slot. And there are tabs on these shoulders that will go into slots on these panels. Go ahead and split the legs, fold up the tail portions, take the entire top half, bring it back on this double hinge, lock it in there, bring down this panel, will lock, swivel this all the way around, bring the legs out to the side a little bit, turn them, and just sort of get them oriented properly so that the combiner ports are facing forward. Bring up this gray panel, flip that out, bring the head up. This will tab in right there. Fold that down. There you have Grimlock in his torso mode. Now to assemble all this. First thing we need to do is attach the legs, just like every Combiner Wars combiner. The combiner peg goes into that plug right there. Now it can be a little tricky to line up properly. There you go. Same thing on this side. Oh, gotta raise the camera even more than I thought. Take the right arm, just drop it into here. Drop the left arm onto this side. Just sort of correct his positioning a little. And there you have Power of the Primes Supreme Class Combiner Volcanicus. I will admit he looks a little dumpy, but overall I think he looks rather nice. Again, I think he should have been the more intricate Titan class combiner instead of just a standard Scramble City. But that said, there's his size to a soda can. He's actually a little bit smaller than the average Scramble City combiner. But, you know, the Transformers figures, the class sizes keep shrinking all the time. In fact, I think it's to a point where, you know, not including the weird leader class stuff going on with Siege, a lot of modern leader classes would have been considered like Ultra back in the day. Yeah, I think I went Scout, Deluxe, Voyager, Ultra, Leader, you know, something like that. You know, I'm getting off on a tangent. But this is Volcanicus. He is big and he is cool. He's also a bit of a mess, but you sort of expect that from a Dinobot combiner. I mean, the Beast, remember? He has colors all over the place. But unlike a lot of combiners, he does have a fairly unified color scheme, which is nice. And of course, you've got all the Prime Masters all over the place. The posability is okay. The head is just on a swivel. It can go all the way around, but it's very tight. Just to give you a closer look, there's like actual teeth in there and whatnot, which is pretty neat. The arms, are the standard Combiner Wars shoulders, so they can go all the way around. The ratchets aren't nearly as percussive as they used to be. They can go out pretty far. There's a swivel just below the shoulder, or really just above the elbow, thanks to the individual bots. On this side, you can get a decent bend. If you get the wing out of the way, you can get a similar bend here. But one problem I've noticed is that Swoop's knees are very, very weak, which is a bit of a problem. And he does have a waist swivel. His legs can go forward that far, but they can't hold up. Okay, make me a liar. They can go back pretty much all the way. They can go out about that far. You've got decent motion at the knee, a little over 90 degrees. And you actually have a pivot, or a tilt at the ankle, as well as a pivot. If I can... Oh, yeah, and of course you have a pivot at the hand. Now, one thing I'll say for Power of the Primes is I think that they did it the way that Combiner Wars should have done. That being... Come on, stand. Where the torso figure came with the feet, and the limb figures all came with their own unique hands. That way we didn't get the weird hand, foot, mouth thing that we got before. Which isn't terrible in my opinion, but this method is definitely better. Now the unfortunate thing is that due to just how everything is, this guy doesn't have a combiner weapon. I mean, he pretty much just punches everything. But, because, you know, Grimlock makes up the torso, and he is, at least in my set, carded with a Megatronus, I go ahead and give him the Megatronus weapon mode. Which, I mean, not a perfect solution, but, I mean, it's better than him being completely unarmed. And if I'm feeling, you know, generous, I'll also give him Solus's weapon mode. Just so that he's got some extra firepower going on. Or clawing power? Something. But just to give him some weapons. I had originally bought the Dreamwave Labs, something like that. The other upgrade set, not the perfect effect of the other one, but I'm not super thrilled about it. I mean, sometimes I'll use the really big cleaver sword that comes with it, but after looking at the perfect effect one, I just love the fact that the sword breaks into all those little pieces. But again, tangent. Yeah, point is, Volcanicus is pretty cool. He's not the biggest combiner, and honestly, for as bulky as he looks, he's surprisingly light. But I suppose that's just due to the way modern Transformer toys are engineered to be so light and hollow, but whatever. This has been the final part of my series of reviews on the Dinobots of Supreme Class Volcanicus. Until next time, bye-bye.